Anger is a normal response and is a major emotional reaction that all people experience, no matter their race or their background. As you grow and develop, especially in your teenage years, the level of anger that you experience can sometimes lead to challenges. Not everyone experiences challenges with anger, but for some, anger can cause them to get into some difficult situations. Therefore, it's really important to understand when anger is an issue and how to best manage it. There are lots of elements to anger that include how your body develops and reacts to it, but also how your brain reacts to being angry. Certain triggers can influence how you think, which then determines how you behave and also what emotions you have. Individuals who have challenges with their anger can sometimes learn techniques to deal with it, and we call this anger management strategies. There are lots of triggers that can cause an individual to get angry, and oftentimes this can be in response to feeling tired, scared, or even stressed. We can also respond with anger when we experience something as being unfair, or when we are very upset. Obviously, anger can serve a good purpose in that it can let other people know that someone is really troubled by what's happening. Sometimes, however, when someone doesn't express their anger in a productive way or doesn't manage it well, problems can happen. These problems usually happen when somebody holds in their anger or redirects their anger towards others. These other people include friends, families, and even strangers. Sometimes when people get angry, they even damage property or their own belongings. Anger is a problem when someone feels like they can't control it, or that the anger is in control of them. Anger that lasts for a long time after a trigger has come and gone can also be a problem. So it's important to deal with anger when it's problematic. And there are lots of different techniques to do this. One technique is called the problem-solving approach. This approach has 5 steps, which take a lot of time to learn and apply to different situations. Practice makes perfect, and doing this with a therapist is usually quite helpful. Briefly, these steps are as follows. Step 1. Identify the problem. Notice what makes you angry. Putting this into words is very helpful. Asking yourself questions like, what's got me so angry? How is my body reacting? Step 2. Stop and think of all the potential actions you can have in response to the anger. We call this self-control. You stop for a minute to give yourself time to manage your anger and think about the options. Ask yourself questions like, what have I done before when I've been in this situation? Step 3 is to consider the consequences of each action. Ask yourself, what will happen if I do this option versus another option? Step 4 is to make a decision and stick to it. The goal is to pick the one that will be the most beneficial for you and others. Step 5 involves checking in on your progress. After the situation is over, spend some time thinking about how it went. Ask yourself questions like, am I happy with the way things went? What could I have done differently? There are lots of other ways to manage anger, and this includes things like exercising and taking a break from the situation. Listening to music can also help, as well as doing something else that makes you feel better. Talking about your anger is one of the most important first steps to actually dealing with it. Getting a better sense of self-control is a lifelong process, and putting in the effort now can greatly benefit you throughout your life.